What is it about generative AI that's got you so bullish to the point not only that you're building these systems, but then also applying them into your own business ventures?
Sure, great question. So I view generative AI as the great force multiplier for entrepreneurship. It's changing not only the way we work, but what's possible for individual creators and for small teams. What's driving me is really a few things. Number one is the opportunity. I believe that we are currently living in a once-in-a-generation technological shift, and I want to be part of it.
Adam, I got to ask you this question now that while I have you here. Let's talk about your early crypto days.
Sure.
How did you come to know about the intersection of AI and digital assets?
I'll never forget the first time I learned about Bitcoin. It was 2013, and it was an article in The Economist. I was there for 2020, and the whole DeFi movement and yield farming was really interesting. I did a lot of that, and yeah, continue to hold today. And I'm really excited. It seems like we're at the stage right now in the cycle where we're about to see some alt season, maybe. Right? Bitcoin is at all-time highs. I think a lot of that liquidity is going to start moving to funneling down to the alts, and in terms of what chains or projects to pay attention to. I'm Ethereum obviously is one of my first loves, but really any of the chains that are doing interesting things, that have a quality team and a quality developer activity.
I really didn't know that there was many more blockchains outside of the XRP. The XRP, it's true. Hey, what's going on, family and friends? Ray Fuentes here, and I've got a special one for you. In this episode, we're coming to you straight from the load-bearing studio in North Orange County for an exclusive sit-down with a true innovator at the intersection of AI, entrepreneurship, and Web3. His name is Adam Levoy. Adam is a seasoned entrepreneur, Cal State Fullerton alum, and the co-founder of Taboo Grow, a forward-thinking marketing agency specializing in AI-powered funnels for direct-to-consumer brands. He's been ahead of the curve on both generative AI and crypto, with a passion for applying emerging technologies to real-world business strategies. I first met Adam at my alma mater, Cal State Fullerton's alumni gathering last month. While at the event, Adam took the mic to share his forward-thinking vision for artificial intelligence and why its impact will be so transformative, not just across his portfolio of startups, but across all industries it touches. Matter of fact, here's a brief clip of Adam's moment with the mic at Cal State Fullerton's recent alumni gathering.
Adam Levoy, class of 2011. I actually had the benefit of JJ as a professor. And one of the many takeaways that JJ bestowed upon me was that the path to entrepreneurship is non-linear. Okay, and in fact, something he just said is so powerful and resonates so well with me, is that entrepreneur failure is embedded in this path, right? And it's actually disguised as lessons. It really is. And my story is a great example of that. When I graduated in 2011, I actually started my career in finance. I had the fortunate opportunity to start working at a clean tech fund, and I was there for a while. Eventually ended up in a sponsored finance group at a large commercial bank. And about 8 years ago, I decided that this was not the life I wanted. I looked at my managing directors and said, you know what, this is great, but it's not for me. I've got this entrepreneurial itch, and I'm gonna give it a try. It's never too late. And so I decided to do the entrepreneurial thing. I was very interested in e-commerce, so I launched a direct-to-consumer brand. And my go-to-market plan was the Amazon selling marketplace was blowing up at the time, and I had this plan to launch on Amazon, and created my brand, lined up my manufacturing, had my first large inventory on the way to Amazon, and then in the last second, Amazon rug pulled me and said, you know what, you're in restricted categories, a new seller, we're not gonna let you sell. So I had to divert, a significant sum of my life savings, all my inventory to my apartment, and in real time, pivot my entire, go-to-market from Amazon to direct-to-consumer. And the silver lining here is that it's actually the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Okay? And that is because, one, I own the customer relationship, right? Being D2C, right? I started a Shopify business, basically. And number two, it taught me so many more aspects of entrepreneurship and e-commerce and direct-to-consumer marketing that I never would have learned from being an Amazon seller. And so that's what I do today. I run a few direct-to-consumer brands as well as a marketing agency that specializes in B2C. We do a lot of different things, but our core expertise is building high-converting digital funnels across the customer lifecycle that I've learned over years of running direct-to-consumer brands. And we have a channel emphasis on Reddit. Reddit is a very powerful channel and becoming a more and more powerful channel. And we built a technology that uses AI to continuously monitor Reddit and surface relevant threads and topics, and then insert our brands into these conversations in real time. And so nowadays I spend a lot of time working with generative AI and attempting to harness the power of it for my businesses and for others. And I believe that we are at the very beginning of one of the most disruptive events that we've seen since the birth of the internet. And I believe that we, as entrepreneurs, are a group that stands to benefit the most from this. Generative AI is the great equalizer. It is democratizing entrepreneurship in a way that we've never seen before. Today, anyone with a laptop, an idea, and some AI skills can create a plan, build a prototype, and launch a business all in a weekend by themselves without a whole lot of technical skills. And that's amazing. Yeah, so JJ, I just wanted to really say thank you so much, for just all your mentorship, and it's really great to be here. Thank you so much for putting this on together, guys. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
As you can see, Adam is passionate and laser focused on generative AI, which is why I felt like my audience would benefit from a quick interview with the walking algorithm himself. During my interview with Adam, we dive deep into how AI is enabling hyper-personalized marketing at scale, the future of customer acquisition and retention, his early days exploring Bitcoin and DeFi, why Reddit is a goldmine for brand engagement if you know how to speak the language, and his best advice for future founders looking to thrive in this new digital age. If you're a founder, marketer, or tech enthusiast, this episode is packed with insights and inspiration that you do not want to miss. So let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho. What's going on, family and friends? We're here at the Load Bearing Studio in North Orange County, and to my left here is Adam Levoy, a seasoned entrepreneur, a man that's launched multiple direct-to-consumer brands and co-founded Taboo Grow, which is a marketing agency empowering others with AI-empowered marketing funnels. See what I did there? Anyways, Adam is also well educated in the world of private equity, in the world of direct-to-consumer companies, and then also not just generative AI, but building in the world of digital innovation. Adam, how you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's quite the honor to have you. If you remember, we first met recently at the Cal State Fullerton alumni event.
Of course, how could I forget? Yeah, so great to connect at the Cal State Fullerton Center for Entrepreneurship. And shout out to JJ, John Bradley Jackson.
Love you mucho, Professor.
And yeah, so it's great to be here, man. Yeah, it's great. It's great to connect.
Well, let's dive into all things within your domain, which is your specialty being generative AI. Mm-hmm. What is it about generative AI that's got you so bullish to the point not only that you're building these systems, but then also applying them into your own business ventures?
Sure, great question. So I view generative AI as the great force multiplier for entrepreneurship. It's changing not only the way we work, but what's possible for individual creators and for small teams. And so what's driving me is really a few things. Number one is the opportunity. I believe that we are currently living in a once-in-a-generation technological shift, and I want to be part of it. I think that the folks that are early adopters are going to generate a competitive advantage that will compound over time.
Yeah.
So I want to be involved, I want to be building, I don't want to be on the sidelines.
Oh, I love to hear that. I can feel the passion coming out from you, Adam. Now, being the fact that you are early and we are amongst other early adopters of these new technological capabilities, the generative AI solutions, what is it that most of these individuals are missing the boat on when it comes to generative AI or AI in general? And why are you so uniquely positioned to succeed in this domain?
Well, I think boils down to a few areas where there's some misconceptions. And one is, I believe a lot of folks are underestimating the power of generative AI and the speed at which it's improving its capabilities. And also, they are not treating AI communication like a skill that can be learned and improved and refined over time. I really compare it to, when I say it, I mean AI communications, AI prompting, effective use of generative AI technology. I compare it to playing the guitar. Anyone can pick up a guitar, strum the strings, and make some noise. But it's the musicians that practice and treat it like a skill and learn and remain a student of it that play the music.
Yeah. You make a lot of sense. I feel like I'm playing the classical piano, but I'm probably more likely banging it like a drums. I feel like I have some type of understanding of the prompts to be used and how to work with these systems to get not an answer that that I want, but one that I'm really aiming for based on the information that's already out there.
And to build on that, I think the other misfire is a lot of folks treat generative AI more transactional than conversational. They treat it like a vending machine, right? They put something in, they get something out, and then they walk away. And really, I believe the most effective use of generative AI is to treat it like a thought partner, right? And not like an intern. And so less transaction, more conversation.
Yeah, I've noticed the outputs actually differ a little when you do say the please and thank yous to the ChatGPT. So for those listening, it helps to be respectful to the AI.
True.
Well, hey, shifting gears from AI slightly, Adam, because I know this conversation is going to be all things AI.
Sure.
What is it about Taboo Grow, your marketing agency, which is specializing in leveraging and building these AI-empowered marketing funnels? What is it about these systems that enable you to succeed in this world, this fast-paced world where we're continuously we've got all this content coming to us from all angles?
Well, at Taboo Grow, we do a lot of different things. We specialize in direct consumer, but really our core expertise is building high converting marketing funnels, digital funnels. And so where generative AI comes into the mix and bolsters our efforts is the ability to make our funnels highly personalized. And I think in terms of marketing funnels and customer acquisition in the age of generative AI, what's happening is a shift to hyper-personalization at scale. And what that means is that we're moving from broad audience segmentations to audiences of one.
What do you mean by that?
Where a user journey, a customer journey now is going to be so, as a result of generative AI, will be so personalized at every step of the journey throughout the entire life cycle.
So that hello email or the onboarding emails that you may receive will be completely different in the choice words or the formatting from the same company, you're saying?
Exactly. Everything from the ad copy to the ad media to the landing page to the email. All of these are going to be so curated and tailored to the individual, whereas in the past, it's been tailored to the segment, right? And so generative AI really is going to unlock this trend for us. And as a result, I believe, and what we're seeing, is customer acquisition costs are going to come down. So the advertisers and the brands that are effective in utilizing generative AI in their funnels are going to get a lift in profit as a result of a lower CAC.
Yeah.
And ultimately a higher lifetime value of the customer, of being able to work that personalization not into just the acquisition side, but the retention.
Can we talk about the impact that AI is going to have on this customer acquisition versus retention?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we talked a lot about the impacts of the personalization, right? The hyper-personalization at scale that generative AI unlocks, and as a result, lowered acquisition costs, increased lifetime value, but also the experimentation, the velocity of experimentation. Generative AI can create so many more pieces of content and ideas than you and I could, you know.
It's creating videos these days, full-scale videos.
Exactly. It's velocity and efficiency at scale. We're going to be able to A/B test a lot more ideas and creatives, and ultimately that should increase conversion rates, which will lower acquisition costs and increase our lifetime values.
But because of the scale, do you think there's going to be some type of loss in authenticity or tone of voice?
Yeah, it's a great point, and I do actually. I do think that brands that kind of are asleep at the wheel a little bit and lean more into the transactional versus conversational side and don't have the correct guardrails and system prompts and workflows, they will get generic results. But ultimately, it's an opportunity for the advertisers and marketers that do lean in and do treat this like a skill and a talent that can grow over time. Those will be the folks that really benefit.
With Taboo Grow, you guys are not only leveraging these AI systems, but you're integrated into the social media platform Reddit. Can you talk to those in the audience or share why you specifically chose Reddit and why it's so integral for your business model?
Yeah, I got involved with Reddit because my D2C brands are niche categories that are active on Reddit. And so as a result of marketing there for my own brands, it opened up opportunities to market there for others. And it's a really unique channel. You know, almost half of Redditors are not active on TikTok and Instagram. So it's a unique audience. And it's very nuanced, right? Reddit is made up of over 100,000 individual subreddits or communities that each have their own style and tone and policies. And so it's very challenging for brands to authentically engage there. And so that's what we do. And
engage or infiltrate?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
But so what we did was we built a AI-powered system that monitors Reddit and for branded keywords and topics, analyzes them, contextualizes them in real time, and then generates content and responses on the brand's behalf and inserts the brand in an authentic way into those conversations in real time.
Wow, yeah. I know that this conversation can go on for hours, Adam. There's so much that we can talk about for AI, entrepreneurship, the struggles, the journey, just D for all the above. Based on all your successes to date, from all of your direct-to-consumer brands that you've launched, from Taboo Grow, which is also building out these AI-empowered funnels. For those in the audience that aspire to launch their own ventures or tool within this domain of AI, what would you recommend to those that want to participate?
Sure. My biggest lesson from entrepreneurship has been to live life in constant beta mode, to remain a student, and to learn things and practice things along the way. You know, for example, in 2020 during COVID, I already had a few direct-to-consumer brands under my belt, but I decided I wanted to learn to code. And it wasn't a skill I necessarily needed. It was actually inspired by the decentralized finance movement. I wanted to roll up my sleeves and get a little bit more.
Oh, so you're a crypto bro.
I know, a little bit. But at the time, you know, it really had compounding effects because, you know, I run a few e-commerce brands and stores, and so having that web development capabilities really helped with my stores and my marketing funnels. And so what I'm getting at is that entrepreneurs I really encourage them to remain a student and live life in beta mode.
I like that. Have an open mind, and even when you fall still get back up, but most importantly, see the silver lining, because there was something to be learned throughout that entire experience. And so I'm picking up what you're putting down. Now, Adam, I got to ask you this question now that while I have you here. Let's talk about your early crypto days.
Sure.
How did you come to know about the intersection of AI and digital assets?
I'll never forget the first time I learned about Bitcoin. It was 2013, and it was an article in The Economist. And at the time, Bitcoin was hovering around 99 bucks. And I wish I could say I bought and have been hodling ever since, but that's not the case. Yeah. I really shrugged it off at the time. I had a lot going on. I frankly didn't understand it, to be completely honest. It wasn't until years later, when Coinbase started to get some traction, that I started really investing. This was in early 2017. So I still got, it was pretty early with Bitcoin and Ethereum especially, and was involved in that cycle and continued to hodl through that drawdown, which was pretty severe.
Oh man! So lunch isn't on Adam today.
It's gotten better, but no. And then I was there for 2020, and the whole DeFi movement and yield farming was really interesting. I did a lot of that, and yeah, continue to hold today. And I'm really excited. It seems like we're at the stage right now in the cycle where we're about to see some alt season, maybe. Mm-hmm. Right? Bitcoin is at all-time highs. I think a lot of that liquidity is going to start moving to funneling down to the alts, and in terms of what chains or projects to pay attention to. I'm Ethereum obviously is one of my first loves, but really any of the chains that are doing interesting things, that have a quality team and quality developer activity.
I really didn't know that there was many more blockchains outside of the XRP. The XRP, it's true.
It's funny, actually.
There's no need for anything else. I'm kidding.
Yeah, XRP is one that I didn't have a lot of experience with, so I'm gonna have to study up on your channel.
Yeah. That would be great. If you need any introductions, Adam, by all means, I'm happy to make them as well, because I believe with our powers combined, I think we can achieve so much more. And I do actually have a referral for you. His name's Boone Bergsma, who's also building some very technically advanced AI-empowered funnel systems on the XRP ledger. So maybe there's some synergies between the two. For sure. But before I do let you go, is there any closing remarks that you'd like to make before we go finally have those tacos and beers?
Ultimately, generative AI allows me to focus on what I'm good at, which is strategic thinking and creative problem solving, while taking care of the tedious things and things that historically I may not have had the skills or time to do. And so I just encourage everyone out there to lean in. This is not a fad. This is here to stay, and continue to learn. Excellent. Well, Adam, how can those in the audience learn more from you, being a leader in the space? Sure. Check me out at adamlevoy.com and at Adam Levoy on all the socials. And Taboo Grow. Taboo Grow, taboogrow.com. Excellent. See you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho.